Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Alice. I go by Hello Alice here on YouTube and I make art videos. And I have been working so hard on setting up my new art room, and I'm really excited to welcome you guys to my studio. I'm gonna be showing you my whole art room, how I decorated it, and kind of how I store all my art supplies. I feel like I have quite a few kind of unique and cute storage solutions, so hopefully you guys like it. It's super exciting to finally have a whole room for my art supplies. I feel like I've been dreaming about this like my entire life. So if you like seeing how I organize, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, and I'm gonna go ahead and link my previous workstation tour up in the corner. So come on in and let's get started. Okay, so this is kind of the overview of what my art room looks like. So this is actually supposed to be a dining room in my apartment. If I turn over here, you can see some kitchen counters on this side, but I figure I don't really need a dining room. It's just me, like I can eat on the couch. An art room seemed much more useful for me and my employment and my lifestyle. So yeah, this is my art room. I went with a blue and white theme. I actually did get new furniture because I was gonna have this art room, and my old furniture was black and I didn't like it, and I have always wanted something light and airy, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys around. Okay, so I'll start with this little corner over here. I have a cute little chair, armchair that I got from Goodwill for like 30 bucks. It used to be part of like a reading nook in my bedroom, but when I moved, it fit really, really well into the art room. So I have it in here for people to sit on, and it also holds all of my stuffed animals and dolls and things like that, because I have quite a few kind of Disney dolls, and I also have this cool pizza pillow that 40 West gave me when I left, which I love. And then behind it, you guys can see I have my lighting equipment. So this is all in the Cowboy Studio kind of case that it came in, and it just slides behind there, really nice and neat. And then also behind here, I have my portable travel easel, as well as some wrapping paper and just other kind of tall things that just fit neatly back there. Then you can see above I have little wall hanging type thing that I just kind of put miscellaneous stuff in, and above that I have some art that subscribers gave me. It's the first art I've ever received from subscribers, and it just means so much to me that these girls made this for me and gave it to me, that I really wanted it to be displayed in my art room. Moving on to bookcases, I'm going to start with the bottom of the bookcase and work my way up. So down at the bottom I have a bunch of art books. These aren't all the art books I own, but these are kind of more practical manual type books versus books that I would flip through. So they're things like how to draw anatomy, and I have a bunch of stuff on graphic design and Maya, and like animation and that kind of stuff. Also, my iPad is down there. And then above that, I have in this cool little wooden crate, I have all of my acrylic supplies. And then over to the right, I have all of my travel stuff. So I have this cool giant pencil case that I got from Walmart for like $3, and it's such a great travel kit because it fits everything and it's really sturdy and it fits in a suitcase well. And then above it in this letter holder, I have all of my travel bags and brush rolls. Moving on up, I have the middle shelf, which is kind of a mishmash of things. So over on the left, I have this little, I think it's like a fruit basket holder. I got it from TJ Maxx. In the bottom, I have all of the spare cartridges for my printer. And then above it, I kind of have just some desk stuff. So I have push pins and rubber bands. So over on the right, I have this little hanging basket thing, like under the shelf basket, and I keep basically organizational stuff in there. So I have planners in there, I have sticky notes in there, and I also have one tiny little notebook in there. I really like planning, and I tend to like buy a planner and then get bored of it in a couple days. So I have a lot of planners. Underneath that, I have just this documents box, and I basically use that to file anything that I don't want to deal with at this point. As you can see, it's pretty full. So it's basically filled with documents that I need to go through, old mail, all of that kind of stuff. So the next shelf is mostly boxes. I'm really into these cute photo boxes for storage in art rooms. You can get them really affordably at like Joann's and stuff like that, and they come in a bunch of different patterns, so I really like them. They fit stuff and it works great. So I have this box right here, which as you can see contains pretty much all of my watercolors. There are a few kits that I have kind of out and about, but most of them fit in here. The box that says Misc Art is currently empty. I cleaned out a bunch of art stuff, so that is just waiting to be filled. On top of that, I do have a loose watercolor palette. This was my childhood watercolor palette. It's wooden and it kind of doesn't really fit in a box, but I think it looks nice sitting out. And then over in this box with all the maps on it, I have a bunch of smaller sketchbooks and also a book that I forgot to put away. Above that in the canvas bin, I have basically ongoing projects, or like projects that I've started and haven't finished and probably never will. And then in the wire basket, I keep a bunch of acrylic paints, and these are different. These aren't my artist acrylic paints, these are more for crafts. This last shelf is what I like to call my jar shelf. I love storing art supplies in jars. I just think it looks so like old school and vintage, and it's just, I just think it's such a cute way to store art supplies. So I have a whole shelf of art supplies in jars. So I have a bunch of stuff in these jars. So the jars in the back, I have washi tape, embroidery thread. This jar is filled with charcoal and graphite, which I don't use very often, but I can't bring myself to get rid of. The jar that is completely overflowing is filled with watercolor paints. And then I do have one empty jar that used to hold stamps, but I've since moved those. So that may end up being an overflow jar for my watercolor paints. So then moving on to the jars in front, I have this little candy jar that's filled with my gouache paints. And then I also have a jar filled with graphite sticks. And then I have this one with the cute cork lid, and that's filled with my Prismacolor chalk pastels. And this one was actually really cool because I got this jar from Goodwill, so I think it was like $1 or something like that. This jar is filled with my leadless pencils. And then over to the right I have two kind of milk jar style ones. The one with the lid is filled with my cartridges for my fountain pens, and the one without the lid, this is such a cute jar, right? It's from the dollar store. It's from Dollar Tree. I think they still have them. But I put all of my glue sticks in there. And then on the top of the bookshelf, I just have some Disney stuff. I have my Rapunzel and my Merida dolls. These aren't the animator dolls, these are actually the toddler dolls, but I still think they're really cute. I have a TARDIS clock that doesn't work. I don't think it has batteries in it. This cute little thing that says home is where the paw is, and just a couple other little things. I got this cool bamboo kind of jar tube thing in Indonesia. I have an Anna Pez dispenser, and yeah. So the next thing that I have to show you guys is this center part of the bookcases. So I have this cabinet, and it's all decorated up top. So with the doors open, you guys can see that this is actually really useful storage space, and it looks really nice and neat when the cabinet doors are closed, which is awesome. So this is primarily used for storing my sketchbooks, notebooks, and paper. So the bottom shelf is all sketchbooks as well as some notebooks. The second shelf on the left is all of my watercolor paper, as well as like some pastel paper and drawing paper, but mostly it's watercolor paper. And then over on the right are my larger sketchbooks and this little paper tray with kind of loose papers that aren't like drawing papers, you know, they're more printer papers, and note cards, index cards, all of that stuff. And then the top shelf, which is currently a bit disorganized because my sister was going through it, holds a lot of fabric. So on the left is fabric and fabric scraps. In the middle is clothes that I'm going to alter or that need to be repaired. And the right is just a basket that I was using to hold some quilting stuff for a project that I was working on, and it's still holding all that stuff even though the project is finished. So my fabric stuff is a little disorganized, it's just kind of shoved up there. Okay, so as you guys can see, I have quite a bit of stuff on the top of this as well. So I keep all of my concept art books here, as well as a couple other things. I have one coloring book up here. I have some old books from thrift stores that I just think are really pretty, and I have some like art books that I've bought at conventions here. In the center I have this little wooden box. If you guys have seen my previous workstation tour, I've had this for a while, and it just has kind of some like desk stuff in it. So I have a drawer of stickies, which is mostly like post-it notes and stickers and things like that. I have a whole drawer filled with binder clips. The office drawer has things in it like glue sticks and tape and all that stuff. And then the art drawer just kind of has miscellaneous art supplies like pencil sharpeners and erasers and things like that. It's just kind of a catch-all. And then I also have this jar of paintbrushes. These are all my acrylic or oil paintbrushes, as well as my palette knives and things like that. I keep these separate from my watercolor ones. And then I just kind of have it decorated with some Disney dolls and some flowers, Harry Potter stuff, Doctor Who stuff. There's a lot of deer in my art room, you guys will notice. And then up above I have some beautiful artwork that another YouTuber, Zaira Banez, sent me. I will post a link to her channel down below, but I'm part of the YouTube Artist Collective and we did Secret Santa and she was my Secret Santa. She sent me these beautiful prints and I just thought they look so nice hanging up as a trio and they fit the space perfectly. If we swing all the way to the top, I have this giant purple sign that has my name in it. It says Artist in Residence, and it's for 40 West Arts District. 40 West is the arts district that I had my residency with last year. This was the sign that was outside the front of my apartment, and I just think it's so cool. Like, my name is on a sign, and they let me keep it when I left, which I'm so grateful for, and I hung it up there because it was just such a great experience, and I love the 40 West team. If you guys are in Denver or Lakewood, please check out 40 West Arts District. Their website is literally right in front of you. They're such a great organization and I'm so lucky to have been able to work with them. Okay, so moving on to the next bookcase. The bottom shelf of this bookcase is pretty much all sewing stuff. So on the left in the little wicker basket I have some of the patterns that I have, and then the red little basket is my sewing basket. It is very disorganized inside. And then I have this little wicker laundry basket here in the corner right now. It looks like a giant mess, but this is actually all of my fabric and costume stuff that I'm working on for Denver Comic Con. So I do go to Denver Comic Con every year with my sister and my best friend Emily, and me and my sister always dress up. This year I'm making Belle's blue dress from the new movie, so that is what that pile of messy fabric is. Moving on up to the second shelf from the bottom, this shelf has another one of those little gray baskets, and they're actually mirrored on each side. So if you come over here, you can see that they are both on the same shelf on each bookcase. But this one over here basically just contains stuff in bottles. So it's got loads of things in there. Glue, pen cleaner, rubbing alcohol, my spray bottle's in there. Basically just stuff in bottles, to be honest. And then over on the left, I just have this cool book that I found at a thrift store and a cool Mercury looking jar that I've broken and repaired about 6 times. The next shelf contains something that I really love because the focal point of this shelf is this really cool little storage organizer, I guess. And I bought this from the hardware section at Walmart, and it's made for storing like screws and nails and stuff like that. But what I did was I spray painted it. So it was originally black with clear drawers. I spray painted the outside hammered metal spray paint, and then I spray painted all the drawers chalkboard so I can write on them in chalkboard what's inside. And as you guys can see, I have loads of small little things in here that just don't really have their own home or don't need their own home. So like brads and pearl snaps and hair clips and mini bottles, chalk, tack, tacks, paper clips, all of that kind of stuff I just keep in there. And I think it looks really cool, and it was a really affordable DIY if anyone is interested in doing that. On top of it, I have a bunch of small little dolls and an owl, and then I have more stuff in jars. So over in the corner I have my ribbon jar, because everybody needs a ribbon jar. And then I have this cool mug. So this mug is actually from Budapest and it's handmade, and I used to drink out of it, but a small crack has developed recently and that makes it not able to hold liquid very well. So now it's storing some of my drawing pencils. Over in this cool mercury glass container I have some watercolor crayons. And then over in this gold glass container I have my Faber-Castell Polychromos colored pencils. And to the right of it, in a white little tin, which I got from the dollar section at Target, I have my Crayola colored pencils, both the twistable kind and the sharpening kind. And then hidden all the way back behind in a dollar store jar, I have basically my razors, like X-Acto blades, and a couple other little tool-like objects. The next shelf is mostly boxes again. So over on the left is my jewelry box. It's in this cool kind of greeny, old-fashioned, antique-y looking box, which I really like. And I just keep all my jewelry making supplies in there. I also have this little unicorn in front of it that I got in New York my senior year. I went to New York for my senior trip, so my little unicorn. In the blue box with all the writing on it, I have all of my bookmaking supplies. I do really enjoy making books. I have paper specifically for books, I have my sewing needles, and it's a big disorganized mess, but that's where I keep all my bookbinding stuff. Above it you can see I have my Dan Smith palette that I made myself, and a little picture with another little bird. And then in this little canvas box, I just have some important stuff like my checkbook and some like discount cards and stuff like that. Basically officey things, not really that exciting. The top shelf is again another box shelf. So I have these 4 kind of craft paper boxes. So the first box that actually doesn't have a tag holds all my stamps. So my stamps used to be in a jar and they just got too much for the jar. They wouldn't fit. I had too many stamps. So now I have a stamp box, but it doesn't have a label yet. Over to the right I have a scrap box. So this is like little bits and pieces for scrapbooking, kind of paper elements and all of that pretty stuff. Then I have a box full of inks. As you can see, I have quite a lot of inks. I really love working with ink, especially in conjunction with watercolor. It's just one of my favorite mediums. I used to use it a lot more than I do now, so that's one of the reasons I have so many inks. I also really like fountain pens, so some of these are fountain pen ink as well. Over in the last box, it's just miscellaneous craft stuff. So like my Sculpey is in here and just random stuff that I don't really know where else to put, but it's not art stuff, it's more crafting, you know? And then over in these metal boxes on the left, these are Christmas boxes from the dollar store that I painted. They're actually kind of hard to open because I painted them. I have a box for glitter, which used to have a lot more glitter stuff in it, but we cleaned it out when I moved and found out that quite a lot of my glitter glue was very dried up, so now it's kind of a pointless box, but whatever. Then I have another misc box, which is basically just another dump of stuff that I really don't know what to do with, but don't want to get rid of for some reason. So there's just random stuff in here. And then the last box is labels and tags, because of course I have an entire box just for labels and tags. I don't know if you could tell, but I'm really into them. The top of the bookcase just has some miscellaneous little things. So I have this metal shelf that kind of extends my storage up a little bit more. So over on the right, I have the cigar box by Gorilla Painter, which is basically this wooden box, and you can put your paints in it. You can put a like a canvas board in it, and it's supposed to be for plein air painting, although I don't really use it very often. Above it, I have my palette, like my paint palette that I use for acrylic or oil. It's just a butcher tin. These are just the kind that I prefer. And then to the left, in this cute little wire basket, which is from the dollar section at Target, by the way, is just stuff for Comic-Con. So Fort Collins has a Comic-Con every year, and me and my friend Emily usually share a booth and sell our artwork. And this is just some leftover stuff from last year, sketchbooks I made and jewelry and stuff like that. To the left of it is my stapler, because I don't use it very often and I didn't really know where else to put it, and it just fit there really well. And then on top of the metal shelf, I have this wooden crate which has beads in it. So all my beads are in these little plastic boxes, as you can see, and they fit neatly on top of each other in this wooden crate. So yeah, if I ever make jewelry, which I don't very often, I have beads up there. And then I do have some decorations up here as well. So I have this little jar which is filled with little inspirational notes that my mom gave me. It used to be in a different jar, but I actually smashed it by accident, so it's been moved to this jar. And if I'm ever having a down day, sometimes I will unwrap a little scroll and read something positive. In the back, in this unicorn box, this is actually my special things box. It contains a lot of really special memories from my childhood that I put away as I was a kid. It's really special to me. So I have this butter beer mug, which I got from Harry Potter World in Florida, which was awesome, so much fun. And it has my dice in it, and then just random stuff. It's kind of a miscellaneous small things jar. I have keychains and stuff in it. And then I have this yellow tassel hanging down, which was my graduation tassel for Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design, which was my second degree. I was the valedictorian of my class, so I graduated summa cum laude, I think. I'm so good at this. And I got cool yellow tassels. Over on this wall, I have this cool fan that I got in Valencia in Spain. And then I have hanging up just some aprons. I have a 40 West Arts apron from when I worked there, and this is actually my old server apron, but I figured it could be useful for art because it's got a lot of really good pockets. Okay, so the next part I have to show you is my printer area. So this is just a little kind of like, I'm not really sure what it was originally, maybe a TV stand? I don't know. But I picked it up from Goodwill and I repainted it. And yeah, it holds my printer. So the top is my Epson Artisan 1430. This is what I use for making prints and all of that. And then down below is an Epson XP 400. The printer part of that doesn't work anymore, but I use it to scan in all my documents and all of that stuff. In the drawer, I keep my printer papers, and I also have a hole punch on the left. Super exciting, I know. And then if you can see over to the right, I actually keep my sewing machine over on the other side. And I don't know what kind of sewing machine I have, but it's a Brother. I also have some cute little things on my windowsill. I have just a candle, this cool coin that my dad gave me. I have a cobblestone that I got in Prague. It's like a Prague cobblestone. And I have a plant that I have been keeping alive for like 2 months now. I'm super excited about it. I normally kill all my plants, so woohoo! Plant is alive! And then above my window, I have my little Alice's Art Corner sign that my mom wrote for me way back when I first set up my tiny little workstation. So this is my desk. My desk is made out of a marble countertop from IKEA. It's not actually marble, it's like Formica, but it's a countertop that you can buy in the kitchen department. And then it's on 2 trundle legs that are also from IKEA. I think the countertop was about $60 and the legs were $15 each. So the whole desk costs less than $100, and it's like a 6-foot long desk or something like that. So it's really big, there's loads of room, and I really wanted a white marble backdrop for my YouTube videos, and it needed to be easy to clean, and I didn't want it to be too reflective because I didn't want it to be reflecting my lights. And I actually saw, if any of you guys have ever watched The Taylor, she's a beauty YouTuber, but she did this exact same setup in her work, like in her studio, like in her art room kind of thing, where she films, and I was like, oh my god, that is perfect. So I was like, hey, I'm going to do that. So that is what I did. So if anyone has any questions about my desk, it is all IKEA. It is a countertop and 2 legs, and the countertop just rests on the legs, and it's really stable. I've sat on it like 5 times during this filming, and I haven't died yet. So yeah. Okay, so over on the left side underneath the desk, I have this big fabric box that I got from Walmart for like $5, and that is filled with all of my scrapbooking paper, any kind of paper in a fun pattern, and stickers are all in there. Behind that is my shredder because I'm super OCD about shredding personal documents. And then I have my trash can, which is from IKEA. It's actually like a flower pot, but I thought it was really cute. In the very back, I have obviously an extension cord and power strip and all that. But I have these 2 strings that run from one leg to the other leg, and what they're holding back is kind of large objects, large flat objects. So I have a large watercolor pad, I have my my big cutting mat and all of that. It kind of just keeps them flat and up against the wall and out of the way. And then over here I have another one of those large canvas boxes. This one kind of contains small cutting boards. I have my book press in there. My Cintiq in its case is in here. So it's just kind of miscellaneous stuff that is larger and I use semi-frequently. And then all the way over here I have my mannequin. I keep her separated, so the body and her stand are separate right now. And yeah, it's just my sewing mannequin. Okay, so now onto the stuff that's actually on the desk. So over here on the left side, I have all of my markers. So I have my Copics, my Pro markers, and my Prismacolors all in the same case. I don't have so many markers that I can't do that. And they are in a old Coca-Cola bottle crate, so it's from like the 50s I think or something like that, but Coca-Cola, like the glass Coke bottles used to be shipped in it. I got it at a vintage store, and then I added on these little wooden legs so that it tilts backwards so that the markers don't come falling out. This is probably like one of my favorite parts of my art room. I just think it's so cool and unique, and I love, love, love this marker storage like so much, you guys. I have my piggy bank next to it. It is a TARDIS. If you couldn't tell, I like Doctor Who. I have a candle. On top of my marker storage, I have some little decorations that I use in my YouTube videos a lot. I have the candle that I'm currently burning for my videos. I have the amethyst that I have in there a lot. All of that good stuff. Above that, I have these scissors. They're on a metal strip in the wall, and my scissors kind of, it's like a magnetic strip, so I can just put the scissors on there and they hang out. It's really awesome. Moving on over to the right, I have my Wacom Pen Holder without a pen right now. A little plaque that says, "Enjoy the little things." I'll deal with the wall stuff in a minute. But then I have this little turquoise kind of tray, and I have 3 mason jars in the tray, and they hold my pens, pencils, and like highlighters and Sharpies and things like that. So just like your generic desk stuff is in there. To the left in the green little bowl, that's actually a bowl that my high school ceramics teacher made for me. Well, she gave it to me when I graduated. I don't know if she actually made it for me. And I just kind of have been keeping miscellaneous stuff that I might reach for in there. It's like mints and chapstick and stuff like that. And to the right of my pens and pencils is my water jar that I use for YouTube. It says, "Can't touch this," and it's a cactus. And then over in this corner, I have another little sign that says happiness is not a destination, it is a way of life, which I really like. I have this little grandfather clock, which is actually a pencil sharpener. And then over in the corner, I have a wooden tray, and in the wooden tray, I have a myriad of art supplies. So in the back, in this cute little tea container, I have my watercolor colored pencils. And then next to them in this little flower pot type thing, I have my Prismacolor colored pencils. And then in this pretty little glass jar, I have all my watercolor brushes. And then in the front row, I have all my fountain pens. I have this old candle jar, which this sort of has random stuff in it. I don't really know how to define the stuff that's in here. Like, I know what goes in there, but I don't know how to define it. But it's basically things that I use like semi-frequently or that don't really have in other homes. Like I have gel pens, water brushes, pipettes, so yeah. And then over past that, in my Marauders mug, which is broken, and that is why I can't use it as a mug, because I broke the handle the first day that I tried to use it. I have my inking pens, and then even further over to the right in this cute little mug, which I bought specifically for this purpose, is basically stuff that I use frequently. So it's like my go-to paintbrushes are in there, all that kind of stuff. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag, the same as the candle jar, but it's whatever. I know how the system works. And then the last things that I have on my desk are, I have this little red speaker for music. I have this green flower pot, which basically serves as a junk drawer of things that I'm not sure what to do with, but may need in the near future. I have a candle, which I recently spilled all over my new carpet. And I have this giant paper clip to put little notes and things that I need to remember. Okay, so going back to the stuff on the wall, over here on the left side above the scissors, I have this little white clip thing where I just kind of clip stuff that is important. So right now I have a wedding invitation on it. And then I have my silver play button on top of it, which I got for hitting 100,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. I seriously I can't believe it. Like, you guys are amazing. It's just beyond anything I could have ever imagined. So I have my play button hanging up, and then above that I have some prints. I have a Doctor Who, Avatar: The Last Airbender, and Frozen prints. And then over on the main wall, again, I have a bunch of artwork kind of on this wall. I have this beautiful painting I saw at Comic-Con with this girl by a tree. She's like a warrior. I have a painting of Daenerys Targaryen. I have this calendar from Target, always useful. I have just a bunch of stuff. Avatar: The Last Airbender, Doctor Who. I have stuff from Kew Gardens, this like vintage print from Kew Gardens. I have a print that my art teacher gave me when I graduated high school, which is one of my most precious possessions. I have some Bailey prints from her Patreon. And then I have some prints that my friend Emily made for Comic-Con as well. And then in terms of practical stuff on the walls, so not decor, I have hanging up my drawing brushes, which I use to clean off any eraser shavings without smudging pencil and graphite. And I have my rulers hanging up as well. And then in the center, I have my bulletin board with all kinds of things on it. I have cards and pictures and little notes, just stuff that's important to me or stuff that I don't want to forget. And I have my little key collection because I love, love, love keys. And then finally, I have this shelf up at the top. This is just an IKEA shelf, and I have mounted an LED kind of under the counter light on underneath it. And then I also have another light hanging down from it, which is from Target. And then the shelf itself has a wire basket which kind of contains miscellaneous electronic supplies. And then this cool sectioned little metal thing that I got from Hobby Lobby or Michael's or something like that. And I keep all my filming equipment in there. So I have my camera mount and my mic and all of that stuff. And then if I was not currently filming with it, to the right of the cool metal thingy, my camera would be sitting, but it is currently filming. So that's kind of where I keep all my filming equipment, and then I can mount my camera underneath that shelf so that it's pointing down at the desk. Okay, so I have one last thing in my art room to show you, and that is this blue little cart which hangs out just against the end of my kitchen. This is one of those like IKEA cart type things. And yeah, I just kind of keep miscellaneous stuff in here. So the bottom drawer has all my palettes in it. It has gem jars for water, my foldable travel water cup. It has some brush cleaner. It has the legs to my mannequin, wax paper, plastic wrap, all that good stuff. The second drawer kind of has tools in it, I guess. I mean, there's like command strips, sandpaper, steel wool, my hot glue gun. There's my stretching pliers for stretching canvases, string and packing tape and masking tape. And then the top little drawer compartment shelf, the top shelf has kind of some office stuff in it. So it's got these little boxes, and one of them has kind of post-it notes and some sticker type things in it. And the other one has spare office supplies, so extra pens, extra rubber bands, all of that good stuff. I also have some old business cards up here, and then I have my sketchbook and my little travel bag that I'm currently using for art supplies, which I really need to clean out, and that just hangs out right on top of here as well, so I can grab it and go. And then the last thing is behind here is my handy dandy foldable table, which I had in my old art studio. I just really like having this. I can have it set up next to me when I'm drawing. It gives me a little bit of extra space, and it kind of turns my desk into an L shape. So it's useful to put your computer on while I'm drawing. I can like watch TV, or sometimes I like to put my art supplies on it. It's just really useful to have. I used it like 10 times while I was filming this. So yeah, that's the last thing I have to show you. Okay guys, so that is my art room tour. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know this was a long video, so if you guys stuck around to the end, thank you. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. It does help me out quite a bit, and if you liked it enough to want to subscribe, then that would be awesome. Come join the Wonderland fam. We make art and eat pizza, and it's a lot of fun. I do upload new videos every single Friday, so make sure to check back in next Friday for my next art video. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions at all down in the comments. I am more than happy to answer them. If you need me to go into more detail about anything that you saw here, just let me know. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and as always, have a great rest of your day.